Hello, and welcome to Steel Division 2. Today we've got a game between Colonel Koenig and Luna. Long time no play here. This was, I believe, the September monthly here, and we've got NOV versus Second E Blindée. Alright, I spoke about Second E Blindée recently in my Art of the Opener video. And Second E, right, it's got lots of bazookas and things like that, great tools for dealing with armor. But NOV is a infantry division. However, it is one of the weaker infantry divisions in the game. And then we do have Mr. Luna, long time no play over here, playing the division. And if you've seen some of Luna's other games, right, I believe like Herr Robert, 2nd Indian Head versus Luna, 352nd Infantry, you know right away that Luna's micro is on another level, right? I would even go as far to say that Luna has probably some of the best micro in the game here, and then is only really fallen back by sheer virtue of the fact that they play divisions like NOV, right? And it's completely fine, right? You play what makes yourself fun. And it's completely worth it in that case. Right? As long as you're having fun. That's the most important part. But, yeah. Koenig playing his favorite division here, Second E, versus Luna's NOV. We'll really have to see how this plays out here. Not quite an engagement down in the south yet. Looks like Koenig is moving forward. The M35, though, these little 45mm mortars are firing away, though. And, yeah, doing a lot of damage on these voltigeurs and stuff like that. But really, just because these Narodnooslobodilačka, they do come with Berettas, and these are actually 2-star now. They could fairly well win in this yellow engagement, even yellow to green, I think, versus the infantry of 2nd E Blindée, which do have a lot of M1 Grands, but, no machine guns, which makes them alright in green cover and stuff like that, right? They don't lose anything from being in the green cover. But I think at least they could certainly do with a bar. And as we see here, Koenig is almost deployed like he's expecting some kind of armor. And to be fair, there are a lot of 20mm in NOV, at least in Phase A. But once you kind of use up the card of Blindas, you're fairly quickly going to realize that there's not much to do there. Right. Now the Narodnooslobodilačka moving forward, of course, has the veterancy here because Koenig likes to take his infantry with only one vet. And now the Narodnooslobodilačka get into this green cover, right? Just like Yakaris, they're going to absolutely rip apart Yakaris without the AT grenade option on them. And this position as well has fallen down. So now the mortar's coming in again. Voltigeurs falling back. More voltigeurs coming in. Blindas as well trying to get in the position, but there's a Sapur over here. And the Bombashi actually with its frag HE, I believe this has a better aiming time. So just have to be a little bit careful there. And the Sapurs are going to get their bazooka on target, no doubt, as soon as that Blinda shows its face. But Luna actually, no, doesn't see it, but the Sapurs doesn't see it either, funnily enough. And now just relying on the half-tracks here and the M5A1 to push these units back, as the voltages do end up going down to the just massive amount of rifles here. M4 coming in there, and 2 flamethrowers, hopefully get back in the green position, right? So it's not too bad. And the Sapurs now are going to get on top of the Blinda as the Bombashi move forward. Might have had an aiming advantage here, but Koenig is going to manually pull it back, as there is no action on the rest of the front yet. 81mm mortar, a good call-in. Lots more infantry coming in as well, and just a couple of 20mm being set up. It's always a good idea for you to get your AA set up early, right? So you have it when inevitably the air starts coming in, which is relatively inevitable. However, taking back this flag with the Sapurs and the light armor here, the L6s and the S35 are going to come in to challenge that. And the S35 does have the gun to penetrate the M5A1. So the M5A1 does have to be a little bit careful, and there's a cost-effective engagement to take that. But yeah, just a bit hard sometimes. Flamethrower's getting on top of the Narodnooslobodilačka, and actually, wow. The pin down there with the help of the M5A1 and the voltigeurs do quite a lot of damage here. Bombashi, however, flamethrowers are going to not get on target, and the Bombashi are actually going to be firing at the voltigeurs here. S35 moving forward, slowly but surely. Voltigeurs go down. M5A1 still getting fired at by the Solothrone here, but the Solothrone is actually not a particularly good anti-tank rifle, right? So unlikely to get through the front armor. Looks like I did take 1 penetration, though. Units moving into this position. I think a lack of AT here meant that they did go down. And Crocodiles will be a little bit careful with this M5A1. Doesn't want to run into the S35 there. As now the M5A1 is continuing to take damage here. And a lot of these units are forced back, but Koenig's infantry has died in the meantime. And as the balanced player, he's going to have a harder time really reinforcing his troops than Luna, at least in the later phases of the game. Base and also a 2-star M8 coming in. I was expecting the M8 to sit around here. There's a 47mm to be worried about. I'm not sure if it quite has range on this ridge. It should. 250-meter range or so. And now the mortar is going to get involved here. It does have radio, of course, with the battery leader. And should provide some effective cover support. Currently only a commandeer there, but trying to move up and get a lucky Piet shot or something. But yeah, just going to be forced back right away with that mortar fire. Space as well, keeping a look down that road, potentially so the M1 can snipe things coming in, but unlikely, in my opinion. As you see, Bofors coming out as well, and now, well, B-26 Marauders, one of the only reasons, or one of the only tools that NOV has, is these, you get 2 of these absolutely crazy nuke planes, and now, a lot of planes in this game do have 1,000-kilogram bombs, quite a few of them, so they're not that rare. But it is rare to find 2 of them. And just the destruction there, wow. If you think 1 bomb's bad, oh, what about 2? Only doing about 8 health to that man, but everything's pinned down here. And the M5A1 has also taken damage, so very dangerous. We saw that it was basically like a 200-meter ring here of where the bombs dropped and where the units died, so definitely something funny there. And now we see another Marauder coming in for the 57mm. Bit expensive plane to just be using an AT gun, but I suppose if you want to take advantage of the S35s, that is something that has to happen. And now Voltigeurs coming in, supporters as well. M5A1 half tracks with 50 cals, doing a lot of good supporting damage here. And the Voltigeurs might actually be able to get back into position now, as the second Bofors comes in. Dranitsi does die. Looks like to the M5A1. It's not quite pinned down enough. The 2,000-kilogram bombs go down again, but now this Marauder's going to fly straight over 2 Bofors from the looks of it. Oh, second Bofor's not deployed, so just 1 for now. Will likely get away, though. Commandeer takes out the M5A1, but there are 4 squads of infantry still sitting around here, and nothing quite for Luna to put it back into action here. Mortar keeps coming down. Bombashi did finish off an infantry unit there, and the M4 is just going to face hug it, right? Has to be a little bit careful with the Piet and such like that, but immediate fallback there from Luna. That micro really paying off. More recon coming in now. Would expect to see a Bofors or something up north, but at least something to replace this AT gun. Definitely versus NOV, though, it was funny to even see that level of AT gun. I think the 37mm that this division might also get. That might be DFL. That would have been enough to deal with the tanks that you get in NOV, if you could even call them that. Alright. And now we see a 15mm here, the German Peck gun without APCR. They really should get APCR, in my opinion. Just NOV needs all the help it can get. But yeah, failing to pin the M4A2, and the M4A2 does back off there. Mustang still circling overhead. Fusilier Marines coming in. Not sure what exactly you're looking for there with those units, but it's certainly worth doing. 45 mils. Still doing good damage on the Voltigeurs. I'm surprised this 81mm mortar hasn't started counter-battering by now. And a 50mm. Ooh, this is a dangerous position to get on this road here. And then, yeah, let the M4A2 get shot at, really. $13 to 11 though, joined just into phase B here. P38 finally comes out. There was a bit of a already up in the air for Luna. This is the Italian 20mm, the Breda gun. And the Italian 20mm is actually quite good. Alright, so you do want to generally stay away from that, and 3 of them can be deadly. Having said that, there's not really any more AA for NOV besides some dinky 75 or 80 millimeter guns, which do their job, but they are rather expensive. So if you spam a bunch of air down here, force one to be bought, right, and then spamming a bunch of air up here, it's quite easily with like a couple of mortar half tracks to almost overwhelm the kind of air defense that is given by the couple of cards that NOV does have. So yeah, 47 millimeter finally getting tired onto the half tracks there. Voltage is moving forward to deal with that, and should be able to. P38 coming in though for support. Burt. Mortar coming in as well. Close fire support, but he's going to get away for the time being. However, now the 45 millimeters are also going to be firing at these voltagers, so they've got to get out of there. Theoretically speaking, if Koenig can get some kind of AT on this hill, right, or even just HE support, it'll be very hard for Luna to reinforce this position, which could eventually lead to just bombers and mortars digging all these units out, right? If you do manage to cut off the reinforcement road, it's better to apply safe pressure, right? Because as long as you've got the reinforcement road, your enemy can't replace losses it's taking, right? And rather than rushing in head first because you've just taken out the reinforcement road, attempting to do it slowly and methodically is often better, as long as you don't lose whatever is covering the reinforcement road. M8 versus L6s here, though. Funny little tanks. 35 AP, 45 armor. Do have enough AP to go through an M8, so M8 does have to be a little bit careful, but I would expect almost a Sapurs to be hiding around here somewhere. Doesn't look like it. Luna may have gotten the jump on that. And it looks like a flag's gone down. Oh, it's just this one in the south, yeah. So back on 12-12 for the time being. And Maverick income as well. Oh, man. M5A1 moving back. S35 is moving up. Bombashi here. Just a bunch of rifles, though. And I gotta say, the voltages with their M1 Grands and their single M1 carbine here are a lot better against the Bombashi. But throwing, as soon as their TNT gets involved, right, we just see how quickly this reloads. And they're great for killing low health squads like that. But yeah, just a bunch of what's it called? Damage under those units. WDs though. Proletariat. Pretty good all-round unit with an MG42, 34, and that's an MG34. And now we see an off-map though. And a 2-star GMC Bofer. Wow. Not often we see that. Unfortunate that it didn't go for the kill on that, but that Mustang is likely going to die now. Oh. B-26 might actually die as well if the P-38 gets on top of it, and that's one important tool that Luna can't really afford to lose going down there. Another one is still up and running, but with 2 pieces of AA here, gonna have to use it somewhere else on the map if Luna wants to be successful with that. Slow and steady progress is being made against Koenig. It is a 14-10 all of a sudden, right, with this little push in the center, and then retaking this flag here. But the off-map's coming down, and the off-map is deadly. Look at that. As well as M4s, right? How is Luna gonna deal with these, really? Well, it looks like the answer is a multitude of PEC 38s here. This one's getting shot at before it can even get anywhere, though. And this flag goes back to Koenig. So as quick as we saw the 1410, it's back to a 59, and even or it's back to a 1212 and even a 1311 here. As the off-map comes in and deletes, right? Oh, man. Koenig and his B-phase off-map. One of the things that 2E is here is if you're not aggressive with it and allow it to build up like this, right? The tools that it does get, well, they're not amazing. Like, this off-map card is absolutely just beautiful, right? As well as, yeah, like, that'll do a lot of damage. As well as just being a solid all-rounder in terms of tanks and stuff like that. Crew kill on the M4. You have to bring up something else for that. Command M3, bring this up to a 3-star Bofers. Fun little thing there, but Koenig certainly knows his stuff with this. And the L6s, 2 of them, completely delete the M8 there. Fusilier Marines, they are in a Jeep, and they are hoping to get close to this. This M4 really should should move forward to try and deal with this. And yeah, the Fussmiller Marines actually unload early, which is really is what you want. And now multiple M2s coming in, or M4s coming in trying to deal with this. Boom, 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 boom. Tel-6 is on target. Supporters moving forward as much as they can, but are being shot at by the L6 as well. Ooh, doesn't manage to quite get... Ooh, and doesn't manage to kill there at the end. Boom. One L6 down. M4A2 fired away there. Back to a 14-10. Second L6 down. And now, yep, it's once again secure in the south side for Koenig, basically. Military here, though. Still capturing this flag for the time being. And another flag in the north here has gone down. M5A1s versus S35s, and I can tell you right now, Koenig has a lot more M5A1s than Luna can spare S35s, and even getting a bounce there. Unfortunate. Yeah, same penetration, has even better armor, and then loses anyway. Such is the engagement of the light armor division, right? Oop, back 40, that's a lot more deadly. Doesn't look like the APCR's off, though. Oop. First shot misses. Can we see a second shot before the, like, it's just million 50 cals put it down? Yes, we can. 50 cal does. Get on target, though. And now, the Obusir is also in position here. 47mm on target on the M5A1. Does have the penetration to deal with that, but now there's like 2 M4s down here, right? Portiska could come and kill this Voltigeurs, no problem. But actually starts firing out this units out in the open here, which just allow the M4A2 to open up, and yeah, nasty there. TB-73 coming in as well. Where you see the a 2-star 76.5mm. Luna is blind with fire here, leaving an entire flank open with no anti-air. Alright. Radar and C is a good thing, and well, you know, that has a lot of firepower with this, but the Hurricane doesn't manage to hit. The Marauder is forced to fall back as well. 17 minutes into this game, and Luna has not managed to get any substantial advantage here with NOV. And right, because of the incomes, Luna doesn't, like, Koenig doesn't need to make a substantial amount of income to win this game. All he needs to do is wait till phase C, and eventually he's just going to have so many points that it's just going to completely overwhelm Luna. Bombastic here on return fire, but as long as this half-track's coming forward, the half-track could just come forward. And, as well, this position is a great position for an AT gun. We saw the other one got nuked earlier, but I wouldn't be surprised if something replaced that. Even just like a Sherman, right? It's like, what is Luna going to do against it? Bring in a Pack 40, I suppose, but that's not a Pack 40. And this Pack 40 is 1-star, so he's only got like 2 in the deck. What is he expected to do against an armored deck with such an infantry deck? Mortar is firing. 2-star mortars, actually. Oh, man. Interesting choice there. Might actually do quite a bit of damage on this Bofors, but good fallback from Koenig to see it in time. And there's not enough fire down there, down range to effectively kill it. And now, is this the second off-map card? Or is this just relocate? Looks like it might have just relocated. And now, yikes. Gonna get a nice off-map down here. Kaboom. Bombastia and the Commandeer down here are gonna only be slightly hit, but yeah, that off-map leaves a large, big, open section here for Koenig to push forward. And yeah, looks like finally Luna is going to get some kind of effective AT gun up here in this position to try and cut out these reinforcements, but yeah, remains to be seen whether or not it's actually going to be effective when it is sitting right next to an M5A1, right? Oop. That's funny. The M28s here, they don't even come with AP. Yeah, but now that this gets spotted, right? Ooh, does kill the M4A2, and the other one's got to be a little bit careful of the Commandeer here. But yeah, that M38 is going to go down. Bomber coming up as well for here. The single volunteers, arping down, do surrender. The proletariat getting the surrender when they fall back, but all Koenig has to do is bring up a couple more forces for that. There's not a lot there to secure that victory. And yeah. Oop. Yeah. Thank you, HE. Man, the fact that these don't have AP power just makes them that much like worse AT guns. This M5A1 can just sit there with impunity. And, of course, Piat, right? Oh, always funny to see that. It does finally go down to the Piat, though. And the M4A2 is not going to move up. Finish this off, no doubt. Right. Well, unless the Pack 38 can get a good beat on it. And it might just be able to. Especially as it is firing at the other one. Oop, one shot. Oop, this can continue. If this can continue moving forward, especially since the 38 had to reload, but yeah, Koenig is not going to get around the side to that. Oh man, pins it down, but those fighters just survive just in time. Bow fighters coming in, Hurricanes, definitely an air spam here. There's no, oh, what's it called? There's no AA besides this 2-star GMC Bofors down south that's actually relocating, so let's get on target. Hurricane and Bowfighter are accurate and do kill. So, 2 important units going down here, but the S-35's still got to face off versus an M5A1 and deal with a lot of infantry and a lot of AT here in this forest. So now, if Luna can get lots of infantry squads into this green cover, it should be fairly easy to deal with, but like, even this just single half-track here is causing undue problems, right? Hurricane coming around again. 2-star GMC Bofors is actually relocating to the south here. Not sure why. It's kind of needed in the north right now, but yeah. S-35s. Oop, one of these did go down. Other M5A1 does go down as well, which reduces a large amount of important units here. And the 47mm now. It's also got to get on top of that FFI half-track. So, 20 minutes into this game, right? Marauder's still doing a lot of damage here. It's both flags captured again. Wow, Luna really waited as far as he could until he could get all these troops in, right? And we find the Pioneer here, which would have been much better CQC units, in my opinion, than some of the other stuff he brought in. And wow, yeah, 50 cal. M4A2 here, right? After it's used up all its charges, it's rushing forward. Can be a little bit dangerous there, but there is still a commander here. And, well, Koenig does just manage to sneak under Luna's tick limit, so he's got to find a way back into this game, but, well, it's 40 minutes back into it. There's a lot of time to do such. Surprising that the M38 survived. Now it's got to get back into position here to hopefully cut off this road. The unfortunate part here, though, is that a lot of these units are still within the MG range of it, theoretically, if it were to march back up and get into position. Which is not really what you want to be seeing. What you want to see, though, is volunteers. An interesting unit that you don't see too often, on account of them being mediocre at best. But finally a push here in the north, though. Pioneer versus Sapurs. They do get their grenade on, and actually, yeah, gets the surrender there. Borchi and Pioneer moving forward now. Oh man. Borchi here as well. Ooh, S-35 does go down, which is unfortunate, but goes down itself, and now we've only got 1 Voltigers, a couple half-tracks, and a couple volunteers here to hold back the tide. The volunteers, of course, have their relatively weaker machine gun. They have 8 carbines? Man, I did not see that. Whole train of proletariat coming in here as well. Another M4A2 moving its way forward. Not sure what you're planning there with that. Got to bring in some AT for this road, right? Hopefully the commandos can deal with that if that does decide to go CQC brawling again. Spitfire retreating. DB73, of course, no AA up here, so Luna has picked an interesting position to push, and the DB73 is still very dangerous. P38 coming in for the Mustang. The Mustang's not fast enough, I don't think. Oop. Yeah, P38's got an amazing turning signal, and the Mustang goes down. Up-pursuit as well coming in. Proletariat don't really have a way to deal with this, right? The 47mm could come forward and kill it, but as it stands, they can just sit back here almost and just plick away at all this infantry, and they won't even be able to approach it. Another Gypsy Beaufort coming out as well, as well as M3A3, at least putting up some kind of AA versus Luna's quite significant air spam, I would say. Finally, supply for the TNT, though, as the Pioneer do slowly make their way forward. 15 rifles there, or nothing really to balk against, right? As well as 2-star P2 rifles, right? People often underestimate just the power of rifles there. But if you get enough of them together, they are still dangerous, right? That's the power of things like Azatstolpen. Although, Azatstolpen are maybe some of the worst examples of it. So, another flag potentially going down to Luna here, which would be a 15-9. Which would cut Colonel Koenig's time that he has to deal with this very much in half. But 10 minutes under balanced income, right? We're just about hitting that 26-minute mark where the income of Colonel Koenig will be above that of Luna. And so, while Luna has managed to get that 15-9 now, and we'll even get a 16-10, the lineup here is looking fairly weak, right? There's not a ton of AT down here. 2-star Bowfighter, of course, coming in for this M4A2. Might get forced back by the GMC Bowfers, but it is in the trees, so it's fired a little bit late there, and the Bowfighter does get its rockets off and gets the kill as well. Important kill there. Yeah. My god, Proletariat coming in now is coming in for this Lieutenant Flums. Mortar doing counter battery here. P-38 comes up for the Bowfighter. That's not going to get anywhere close enough, and the part up here is going to be able to force it off for the time being. Yeah. So, 15-9 still. Though a lot of units are kind of being forced back. There's 2 more 45mm coming. And again, a really lack of AT. Maybe this Commandeer. Really only being the only thing that could stop M4A2s and the like. Because I see another off-map card coming in. And that might be the proverbial card that breaks the camel's back there. If you do off-map this, right, and you've got a lot of units coming in, a lot of income here. Considering that Luna is only on 80 points of income to be dropping on this. And then you just bring in a bunch of units, and that's 2 flags right there, which will make it a lot harder for Luna to get back in this game. Proletariat here as well, fighting against the Lieutenant Flams. They should win out eventually. What they do with their UDs. So, let's get the flag there. 16-8 for the time being. We're still firing away, of course. Going for this 65mm now. The heat shell there. Still no off map in this position, but there's 3 mortars out. So B-face cut of mortars here. Interesting to see. Definitely interesting, right? Porchy here against the Volunteers. Funny thing is, these are relatively even matched. I would give the benefit to the Borch here, just because the ZB30 is a bit better than the MG or the FM here. But yeah, doesn't really matter too much in that regard. The Borchi is cut off behind enemy lines and will go down. And really, Luna has got to be looking for a way to convert this into some kind of a push. But you got to really be worried about over pushing at this phase of the game, right? You don't want to waste your units here. As yeah, lots of units coming in, and looks like there was another off map called in. Just plastering all these units here, and now the Volunteers are rushing in as well. Looks like this off map was positioned a little bit better, so these units here are also going to be falling back. And now everything's got to be falling back as the M4 rushes forward. But I would wager that these supporters are not going to be able to get into this position in time to surrender all these units. Right, and we're just a little bit too far behind. Still a good idea, though. I see the off-map vehicle coming in as well. Might get the surrender on the Proletariat there. But yeah, these units, well, they might actually just be caught here. No, it doesn't look like it. Too much to surrender just in time. Volunteers coming in now. And yeah, M4 in a good position here. You're gonna have to bring up some kind of an AT again. And well, I would hesitate to say that Luna has much AT left, right? We see the 2 Pack 40s, and we've seen multiple Pack 38s here. This was a Phase 8 card as well. Hurricane coming in for the off-map vehicle, and then queuing up the order for killing the M4A2. Definitely would have been a better kill, really, to kill that M4A2, but yeah. Unfortunate there. DB73 getting the bombs off on these Proletariats, so the Volunteers might be able to take back this position, but bombs actually look like they were almost on for that other one. As Pack 40 is now firing HE shells. Damn, at that infantry. Not waiting until the M4 shows its face. Unfortunate there. Commandeer fails to sneak forward here, so M4A2 does get lots of free damage on them. Separatists do sit down, but the off-map was not followed up on. Right, I would have dropped another off map right after the second one almost, as the second one was going down onto this position, and that would have very crucially continued to do a lot of damage on units that were just pinned down regularly. And now the Marauder coming in. Oop, actually gets its bombs off. Very heavily suppressed though. Might completely whiff on the M4A2, but that might just be a dead sappers here. Ooh, man. Does do a lot of damage. No kill yet. Might just give the advantage though to let Luna push into that position again. Up in the north though, a bunch of units have come in, but still not enough to push out all this infantry here. That's the S-35. Faces off against another M4A2. And yeah, that's not a fight you want to be taking on the SF there. And now, with the volunteers coming into this position, off map, of course, clearing off some of the units that we're sitting around here, and the Blindée moving forward. Not really what you want to see, but volunteers, of course, have no way to deal with it. M4A2 is going to have to move forward for that. And as long as this Pack 40 doesn't kill some of these units in their transport, should be relatively fine. Proletariat coming in to shore up that defense. Has the volunteers here and the Sapeurs managed to get a surrender on a couple of infantry pieces over here. Oop, Hurricane. Looks like I didn't see it. And fails to kill the M4A2 for the time being as the 2-star Bofors fires away at it. Interesting to see these Command 3 M3s being used literally just as leaders here for these GMC Bofors rather than frontline units, right? Bit of expensive unit, but no more expensive than I suppose a artillery leader would be, right? Command Batterie. And now we see yet another off map, and my god. Yeah. Koenig does have a lot of work to do here to come back into this game at a 59, but 21 minutes into the game, he's got a lot more income. You now see M476 is coming out with their great aim time and relatively long range gun. Pack 40's moving forward, looking for this M4A2. Right? Might even get the hit on that, but yeah, lots of infantry coming in now as well. M4A2, time on target. Now they're off map cut down. You just see how dangerous this off map in 2E can be. But the problem is you generally don't find yourself having enough units to let yourself get into such a position where this off map can be effective, right? Because you either bring an off map or you bring in, well, frontline units in. You're going to have managed to make it into B phase where you do have enough income to bring in things like that off map card all the time. But yeah, Pioneer here now getting on top of the volunteers. We just see the Pioneer with just their rifles actually beating out the volunteers there. Relatively funny there. And of course, in the CQC as well, volunteers stand no chance. But M4A2 does pin down a lot of those units, so it is a 14-10 finally. And this 4 is just going to keep moving. The AT gun did go down. There is a 47mm coming in. And a Commandeer. 2 Commandeers actually, and Koenig. Yeah, really just trying to find something to deal with this M4A2, but it is now 13-11, right? Koenig has managed to stabilize the front for the time being, as this push in the north here does manage to get back a lot of those units, but yeah, mortars getting down all these units here. The M4A2 is rushing forward, and the 18 guns were not in a position to take care of that. I think because of this building. That's a funny building I've never seen before. Buildings next to forests like this are always kind of funny. Putting them in there. Pack 40 though, kind of get on target on this M476, and likely it's going to kill that. Yep. Bam. Still got the other M4 to deal with though, and yeah, it's not close enough to kill it. So yeah, mortar's also targeting the AA. Far top move forward. D73 going to be more than enough to get out though. If we did go down to something here, has all these units on loan. 14-10 has managed to take back the southern position here, just flooding infantry in, and well, it doesn't matter how great the CQC of NOV is he can just flood infantry into the units, right? Supporters still do a lot of damage. Bombashi and Pioneers, Supporters. Does Pioneer use most of its, oh no, that's not the fast-firing one, right? Oh man. Funny there. But another M4A2 here. Once again, 76 doesn't have any AT, right? This M4 is basically invulnerable. 2 more proletariats coming forwards. Well, there's just too many half-tracks here to to be killed by a Piat, really. 45mm doing their best, though. Yeah, I kind of get that surrounded there. 50 cal as well, facing off against the Serac here. Beaufort coming in. The single-star GMC Beauforts, once again, not firing here, but fire in the forest. Beaufort does come in for the M4A2 and manages to get the kill there. Dual P38s coming out for it, though. And, yeah, it goes down. So now we've got volunteers rushing back into these forests, and, well, the armor support did go down, but that flank's going to go back over to Koenig. And I think with that stabilization, if Koenig, or if Luna can't push him back into this flag, Koenig does have a very good chance at winning this game. Triple Planetary coming in. Half tracks didn't quite rush forward to kill this 76mm. Commandeer also kind of not in the position to kill, right? But gonna get a payout shot anyway. It's a kill there. But now with these voltagers coming forward, as well as spurs and volunteers, all these units that have recovered, yeah, this is going to be a very dead position if these players really can't get into position quick enough. DCVdBoRQRCZWugACPM though, very good unit. Too bad that their recon don't hold any ground, right? And really out of their element here in the long range. Do have 2 Berettas, which do give them some kind of pushing power. It's the Commandeer here, almost completely out of Piat shells. Fails skill these 2 M4s. Oh man. Flag in the north did go back in the favor of Luna for the time being. So Koenig is still bleeding. No, second Marauder coming in. Ooh. Oh, it just barely manages to get 1 bomb off, but not the other. And yeah. Well, still a single 1,000 kilogram bomb. It's pinned down quite a few units, but not going to pin down the Voltigers. Not going to be quite what's needed. And the Piat does a Piat thing and misses. Then that'd be the second last Piat there. Coming here with 1 last shell. Might have a chance on this M4A2, but it is going to be a range. And M4 is moving. Actually gets the kill as they both kill each other off there. Yeah, now that the is realigned. Really, these Blindas, they're going to be kind of able to move forward here. They don't really have the AP to deal with M3, though, so it'd be a bit embarrassing there, but really the center is just completely collapsing now. Commandeer is getting surrendered by the M4A2 with its 50 cals there. DCVdBoRQRCZWugACPM is kind of come right into a 50 cal. The Berettas do get on target, though, so this might just easily go down. Yeah, as they rush that forward. Get the Molotov off, dead 50 cal. But DCVdBoRQRCZWugACPM aren't too healthy either, and bombs are dropping on this position. It has been taken back here with the 50 cal moving forward. Blindée coming in. Gotta try to put some pressure in again, but it won't be long until we see another tank from here from Koenig, I'm willing to bet. But 13 to 11 for the time being. Did manage to get another Commandeer out here and a 20mm. And now these planes are a little bit loses sight on the M4A2. Unfortunate there. Yeah, really unfortunate there, especially since the Beaufort's gonna get fire on it. And good on Koenig for moving his AA up forward, right? Rotary. Lots of volunteers though. If this DCVdBoRQRCZWugACPM can get into the CQC phase, then they might really stand a chance here, but currently as it stands, the Pioneer out in the open versus volunteers, if they don't manage to throw their TNT, will be quite dangerous there. Far top, absolutely blasting the multi-geos there. And the 81mm not going to try for the 50 cal. Back to a 1510 though. So Koenig does have 20 minutes to turn this around, right? And essentially take Luna all the way down, right? Luna has put himself into a position where he might still win this game just by sheer virtue of lasting long enough, but it is hard to say, really, as the proletariat here are getting caught out in the open versus, well, basically M1 carbines, which are always nasty, and the voltages MITR with their dual buff units there. Yeah, surprised he's coming here that you don't see the M4A2. Might be able to get line of sight on that, just enough for a hurricane run, which would be very much needed right now. But again, dual 2-star GMC Bofors. One of them was actually 3-star. Yeah, it is rough. And now, with the event of the Blindée down here, 2 M3A3s coming in. And that'll be the armored support that really helps shut this down, unless this 47mm can get involved. But 13-11 for Luna. Currently, Koenig might still, or Luna might still win if it is just a 1-tick. But, yeah. Luna's got very little to look forward to. So we'll move this to 8×2. And see if Colonel Koenig can outspam Luna 20 minutes after he started getting advantage. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, did move, right, in anticipation of a loss of AT down here, so Marauder does get its bombs off. Kaboom. And now a bunch of proletarians, stuff like that, are going to be able to rush in. It's back to a 13-10. It's back to a 14-10 now. 3 minutes left on the game for Colonel Koenig. M3A3. 47mm here. Does see one of them. And is going to get the kill there. Man, the rate of fire on those things are so good if you can get them against light armor. So light armor, not the call for tanks like that. And yeah, P-38 gets the kill though on here. Single-held volunteers. Surprisingly though, still 13-11, but not for long as this flag is going to go back in the hand of Colonel Koenig. And now, again, no AT. M3's coming in, right? 47mm might be able to come down, but it's kind of died of the mortar fire. And despite the fact that these places go down, a lot of these units are just a hair's breadth away from dying, right? 2 tanks could easily take this out as long as they don't run into a Piet. The bombers coming in for the proletariats. Hurricane killed the M3A3, but yeah. AA did go down in the south there. Ooh, 1 minute left to go. Can Luna do it? They get the flag. 40 seconds left on the clock. Ooh, 12-12. 3 more volunteers coming in here. Volunteers desperately rushing for this flag, but there's a Blindée up here. Protect against that. M476 is going to be able to take care of that, but we'll have to see if we can get close enough. And Luna is desperately rushing for those 30 seconds there. Hang on, 20 seconds. 22 seconds, and every minute that Luna gives in here, right, does bring him closer to a victory here. Mortar's still firing at the GMC Bofors, just managed to kill it as well. So potentially might see another bomber coming in for this AA. But you're going to need infantry to screen for these L6s. Right. Ooh, with the Commandeer getting forced back though, and the Volters, MTR, take and make this position. M8 firing away. These volunteers just have to move forward and take this flag. Same with this one. Back to a 13-11 now. And yeah, 46 minutes left on the clock. Luna sees very little left in this game, and actually was disconnected. So I am just going to go confirm who won that game in the monthly, right, real quick. Because I think really Luna was very much on the cusp of winning that, but Colonel Koenig was very, very close there to absolutely deleting them. So, yeah. His Frontline would be very broken soon and nothing left behind. Even with the time limit, we think that Luna, that I would have won this game in more than 80% of the chances. So 0-1 for Colonel Koenig. And the monthly here. Well, very good game to Luna, by any case. I swear, one of these days, you'll make NOV work in a tournament setting, right? You're this close. But relatively decent showing to Colonel Koenig managing to hang on there with the Panzer Division, also a weaker division in the game. And I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.